Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I know this is a spur of the moment video. I just need to blow off a little steam. Because for one thing, I can't stand all these dang flies. What the crap done happened, man? Why is there so many flies around here this year? And where are they coming from? But anyway, I know a lot of people are not prepared for this video. I wasn't even prepared for the video, but I just been, searching the internet this morning since I woke up. Well, a couple of hours ago since I woke up, and there's a lot of crazy stuff happening out here, y'all. Mainly, you see what's going down there at Stone Mountain, Georgia. I did a little video yesterday. Hey, what's going on, Alfonso? Man, I don't know, man. We're just sitting here thinking, man, looking at what's going on around the world, how crazy our society has become, how polarized our society has become, and all these goddamn flies. Oh my God, I wish I had a pistol that could shoot flies. Anyway, yeah, if you look up what's going on down there in Stone Mountain, Georgia, you got groups from both sides, um, from the right wing militias, those groups who are associated with, I guess you could say, right wing philosophy, somewhat racist philosophy that this is their country and they need to protect it. I mean, you all are thieves. Those people who subscribe to that are the biggest bunch of thieves on the face of the planet because you stole it from my ancestors, the Indians who's already here. Then y'all brought my other side of my ancestors, the Africans here. So y'all murdered a bunch of Indians to take the land, and then once you took the land, you murdered millions of black people just getting them here. I want to talk about the Middle Passage just for a second. Do y'all realize, you don't know what the Middle Passage was? The Middle Passage was that route that they took from Africa on the Atlantic Ocean coming to America. Now, on this passage, the Middle Passage, they basically what they was doing, what they had to do, in order to get 200 slaves here in America, they had to pack those ships so tight with 500 to 600 slaves because they knew half of the slaves, the black people in the belly of that ship was going to die on the way here. And what they were doing, you got to realize your insurance companies was one of the biggest culprits because they insured every black person as if they were a piece of property, a piece of cattle. So what happened in the Middle Passage? Let me show you some real deep shit. Now, normally in the Atlantic, the sharks travel from north to south. You know what I'm saying? Doing that migratory pattern. Okay, let me get 5. Okay, the states. I mean, I just read a notification. I meant to say the slaves was packed so densely on that ship. In order for them to get 200 here, they had to pack 500 or 600 black people on that ship. Now, as they traveled from Africa to North America, they were throwing so many dead bodies overboard that the sharks actually changed their natural migration pattern. Instead of going north and south, the sharks started following the slave ships on a west to east, east to west pattern. Literally, the sharks was it screwed up the sharks' natural habitat and natural migration pattern because they were throwing so many slaves overboard. And it didn't make them no different because they was getting insurance money for each slave that didn't make it to America. Ain't that some cruel shit, y'all? That's cruel. I mean, think about it. These slaves land in their own feces, their own urine. And it takes maybe 2 to 3 months, you know what I'm saying, on the ship to get, at that time, to get from Africa to America. 2 to 3 months. And these are the people who saying that their ancestors of this country belongs to them. Y'all came in and stole a country, then stole people to help build a country. I mean, it's crazy when you think that these group of quote unquote patriots are so fucking mentally challenged in their head that they think that murdering millions of Indians to take the land and then murdering millions of black people to build the land entitles them to this land. They quick to tell us to go back to Africa, but if we told them same motherfuckers to go back to where you came from, where would they go? Half of them don't even know. All they know is my great 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 grandmother, she was somewhere from Ireland. Who gives a fuck? I mean, they came over here and took some stuff that did not belong to them. So now you see years of animosity, years of hatred, years of tension being played out on the streets of America. You know, with these right-wing groups, white nationalist groups, and then at the same time, we as black people got to watch out for Black Lives Matter, man. Black Lives Matter may have, what I'm going to show you the overall plan with Black Lives Matter and what they're doing. First and foremost, Black Lives Matter started out with Michael Brown when he got murdered by the police officer up there in Ferguson, Missouri. Now, they took a phrase, Black Lives Matter, which is a noble phrase because black lives do matter. But they took this phrase and they basically turned it around, you know what I'm saying, to promote a gay and lesbian agenda. Think I'm lying? Go back and read their mission statement. All Black Lives Matter is now is a political pact, whereas if you follow the average person that follows Black Lives Matter has no clue that these folks really don't give a fuck about black lives, because if they did, they would have their black asses in some of these neighborhoods where black people are getting shot by the police, trying to decrease some of the violence in these black neighborhoods so that the police wouldn't have to be so heavily patrol our neighborhoods so heavily. It's really kind of that simple, y'all. You know, I know there's systematic unemployment, racism, housing discrimination, discrimination in banks. But think about this. I'm going to show y'all some real shit. And again, I said this once before in one of our videos. If black lives really matter, why don't we stop hating on each other and come together like black people did right after slavery and form our own community? I'm going to show y'all something. The worst thing that happened to black people in America was desegregation. Because before desegregation, when the black people were freed from slavery, they had to basically conduct all their business amongst themselves. They created neighborhoods and businesses, and they thrived because they sold and bought from themselves. They educated themselves. But soon as the white folks realized how much money black people were spending amongst themselves, you know what they did? Say, fuck it, we got to get a piece of that. So they came up with the idea of desegregation. We can't just segregate them no more, because as long as they stay segregated from us, they spending their money amongst themselves. Give y'all some real game. And this is unspoken, but you know what really got Martin Luther King and Malcolm X murdered? Martin Luther King was on nonviolence. Nonviolence, we got to do this with nonviolence. And the white folks like, nigga, we don't give a fuck if you do get violent. We will deal with you. Malcolm X was like, man, if you kill my dog, I'll kill your cat. And they was like, nigga, you can say that all you want to, but get violent, we will deal with you. It was until Malcolm and Martin realized the value of our dollar, our spending habits, the way we spent our money, and they started preaching economic independence. That's when they got killed. They didn't get killed because he was talking about black people should be free and we should overcome. No. Malcolm X didn't get killed because he was like, man, the white folks this and that, the roosters are coming home to hatch. No, it was when they started trying to educate black people about the value of spending money, how we spend our money. If we spend our money with Mr. Charlie is going to get all the proceeds, and he's draining revenue and wealth out of your neighborhood. You see that shit today when Mr. Charlie allow Mohammed now to come over here and open up stores, set up shops in your neighborhood. And even that's done on a whole international, it has an international background and bearing and origination or origin, because you got to realize the people that own the gas stations in your neighborhood, where they come from? They come from the countries that's all producing countries. The people that own all the hair stores and these clothing stores in your neighborhood, where do they come from? They come from the countries that manufactures this shit. So our government will allow them folks to come in because these folks have access to capital from other countries. They have access to material and distribution resources from other countries, the countries that they come from. And the countries that they come from, when they send these people over here, they get taxes from their people. So it ain't like, you know what I'm saying, this shit ain't no plot. This shit, and it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it is. Think about it. What the Asians own all the hair stores. They all own all the nail salons. Where's that shit made? Over in Asia. The cats that owns the Clark here in Freeport, all these gas stations, where they coming from? They're coming from countries like Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, places that have large oil reserves. It's crazy, man. And you see it right now. The media, the way they're playing the game is they're trying to ferment protest, revolt, anarchy. You know why? Because that shit gets them ratings on television. They got you sitting up front of that TV wondering, ooh, down in Stone, this shit going down in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I'm going to watch this whole 2-hour news show just to see if somebody going to get killed. And during that 2-hour news show, they steady showing you commercials. It's all a game, man. It's a corporate game to get you to spend money. The media don't give a fuck about you. Come on, you can't sit up and tell me that the media didn't know that they just now finding out that black people were getting murdered by the police. You can't convince me of that shit. They been knowing this shit. Why all of a sudden now, they on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon? Why are all these corporations, like you seen a couple weeks back, when they took Aunt Jemima off the grit box? When they started saying, well, we can't have Miss Butterworth. We can't have these types of things because they're racial stereotypical. Guess what? It ain't like the motherfuckers just now found that shit out. They been knowing this. Why all of a sudden now they so caring and concerned? You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you a question now. Again, I seen a Facebook post where somebody tried to say, remember, was y'all paying attention to earlier this week when this 25-year-old black dude walked up and shot this little 5-year-old white boy in the head, point blank range, cold blood? How come you don't see that shit on the major mainstream media channels? But if it would have been the other way around, a 25-year-old white boy shot a black boy in the head, you would see that shit all day long. That's all they would be showing. This white boy shot this little black kid. You know why? Because they cannot generate and garner the outrage which is going to translate into ratings for them if they show you a black man killing a white boy. But if they show you a white boy killing a black man, they can have that shit on 24 hours a day, and people are going to watch it and get outraged. So again, this is why I do what I do at The Real News Behind the News. I point out the shit that nobody really wants to hear or see, but it's truth. Straight up. Now again, we started out talking about down there in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Thank God nobody has gotten murdered. But you can see something about to happen. In one of these protests eventually, it's going to be some mass bloodshed, because now we have went from simple protesting and marching and having rallies to armed confrontations, where you got black people with automatic weapons, you got white people with automatic weapons. Both of them hate each other. All it takes is for somebody hiding in the bushes is to shoot a pistol, and the shooting starts, bruh. This is how fucked up our country has gotten, because we are racially divided, we're politically divided, we divided on so many levels, and what the saying goes, together we stand, divided we fall. If anything, all of us, white and black, should be marching up there on Washington, D.C. We should be standing in front of Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell. We should be standing in front of the houses of these Republican and Democrat senators and congressmen who are on a 5-week vacation but could not come up in 3 weeks, man, on a deal to give the American people more stimulus relief. But yet still, we fighting each other while they up in these big old ass houses, gated communities, got private security watching them while they on TV watching us act a damn fool, but about ready to kill each other. They are rich as fuck. They don't give a damn. The pandemic ain't hurting them. You know why? Because we're paying their salaries. We're paying for these motherfuckers to be on a 5-week vacation while half of us don't know where we getting our next dollar from. You see what I'm saying? Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer for the Democrats had 3 weeks to work with Mitch McConnell and the other Republicans to do something to show the American people that, hey, we're here with y'all. They did not give a fuck. They went on vacation and say, fuck it. We'll take care of it in September when we get back. Now, there's millions of people who are depending on their $600 unemployment. Millions of people who are facing evictions. And here these motherfucking politicians are not giving a goddamn. You know why? Because if you do have a job right now, they taking money out your salary to pay their salaries. So they don't give a goddamn. They don't. You see what I'm saying? So now it's to the point whereas we're living in pretty much a failed state, y'all. America is a failed experiment. That shit is not working because we the people are nothing to them, the politicians. We ain't shit to the politicians, man. We just cannon fodder, sheep who need to get back to work. The one reason why they won't give you the $600 is because they want you to go back and take a $750 an hour ass job so that you can contribute to the tax base so that they can eventually vote themselves another raise. They want you to go back and work that $750 an hour ass job, whereas if you do go to that job and you catch the COVID-19, you cannot even sue because the politicians have created a law saying that you can't sue if you go back to your job and you catch COVID-19. They want you to go back to this job so you can continue to contribute to the tax base that will allow them to get paid. Man, they don't give a fuck about us. Think about it. Let the corporation, let somebody like one of these military industrial complex companies like Raytheon say, well, look, man, it's getting crucial right now. We need some cash. We need y'all to come back off this congressional vacation and pass a bill. In the bill, you can get the people $1,000 a piece, but we need $200 billion. You know what Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Mitch McConnell are gonna do? They're gonna come back, call all the members of Congress back and say, we got to vote on this bill right now because the American people need it. Now, if that was the case, you would have did that shit last week before last, before you went on vacation. But let one of these corporations say that they need $200 billion. They will be right back off that congressional break right now, crafting a bill. And in that bill, they say, well, we got to get American people something so it won't look like the fraud that this really is. And they'll throw you a $1,200 bone. And have us still waiting for the first stimulus check. And they talking about another stimulus check of $1,200. But also, in any bill they pass, it's going to be way more money given to the corporations than us. America is a failed experiment, y'all. They talk about the American dream. It's just that, because you got to be asleep to believe that shit even it works, bro. Straight up, man. So again, pay attention to how the media is trying to further the discord, further the chaos, further division. Because again, I'm using this little boy's death, and it was tragic as fuck, as a prime example. Think about this. Right after George Floyd got murdered by the police up in Minneapolis, you had a Hispanic man in I think it was Tucson, Arizona, a week later got murdered the same way by the police in Arizona, and you didn't hear shit about that on television. Again, why? Because they can't get you outraged about it. The reason why they can get you outraged when they show you a black person being killed by the police or a black person being killed by a white person is because they can use the existing hatred, tension, animosity that already been existing for 400 years between whites and blacks, blacks and whites. They can use that shit, man, to generate outrage to generate and elicit an emotional response. They want you to get all emotional and respond in a unrational manner. This is what's going on. Because again, why hasn't the mainstream media showed you what that 25-year-old black dude came up in point blank range and shot that little 5-year-old white boy in the head, all because the white boy supposed to been rode his bicycle through his yard. They not showing you that shit. You know what I'm saying? Why are they not showing you? Because they can't get outrage and protest in the street behind that shit. But if there had been a 5-year-old black boy and a 25-year-old white man, they'd have had that shit all on the news and niggas would be protesting all in motherfucking Jamaica, talking about Black Lives Matter. And speaking of Black Lives Matter has went so far now to say that looting and stealing is a form of reparations. No, that shit is looting and stealing. They're using the fact that black people have been oppressed for so long and been such victims of racial discrimination that when a black man, and then I'm going to show you something, in that whole thing that's going on in Chicago, the police didn't shoot nobody, no kid. They started off saying the police shot a little kid. No, it wasn't. Some dude was being chased by the police, and he turned around and fired a weapon at the police, and the police shot him and killed him. And now you got rioting and looting, and maybe 2 people protesting peacefully up in Chicago. And again, like I said earlier, those are some of the most hypocritical motherfucking black people on the planet in Chicago, because you niggas will sit around and wait for the police to kill a black person, and you go out there and tear shit up. But you niggas have killed more black people than COVID-19, the flu, and herpes put together, man. In just this year. Just this year alone, black people in Chicago have killed more people than the police in Chicago have killed black people in 5 years, man, combined. And now you got Black Lives Matter saying that looting, tearing shit up, and stealing out these stores is a form of reparations. No, it ain't. That's a form of Negroes taking advantage of a situation to enrich themselves. Reparations would mean that we all collectively as black people receive some kind of monetary compensation for what they done to our ancestors. You got to realize they gave compensation to the Indians. They gave compensation to the Japanese during World War that was locked away in them internment camps. You know what I'm saying? They even giving reparation to the Jews, and America ain't even had shit to do with the Holocaust. America, believe it or not, the Holocaust that happened with black people being taken from slavery is 10 times to maybe 100 times worse in the number of deaths than that shit that happened over there in Germany. Some shit that wasn't none of us born when it happened, pretty much. None of us in America had nothing to do with that. But guess what? They get the Israeli government $10 million a week of your tax money. Yeah. So again, that's why we talk about international issues. We ain't have shit to do with the Holocaust over there, but we as taxpayers are paying for that shit. When everybody here that's black had some family member somewhere down the line who was a fucking slave. And they saying, well, we're sorry, Negroes, but we don't have any money for you guys. We gave it all to the Indians, to the Japanese, and to the Jews. Come on, man. Let's just keep it real, bruh. More black people. I think it was over. I mean, there's various numbers. There's no real way to get a number, but it was 10 times more black people got murdered during the slave trade, during that Holocaust over there in Israel. And America was directly responsible for the slave trade. But we didn't have shit to do with the Holocaust in Israel. Why is it that they can get tens of millions every week? And we can't even get a motherfucking student loan that ain't got a high-ass interest rate on it. Come on, man. Let's just keep shit real. This is why we do what we do at The Real News Behind News. I know a couple of y'all looking right now, man. Please hit the like button. Because another thing that we dealing with, man, you got to realize YouTube, Facebook, they are heavily censoring my channel. You know what I'm saying? On Facebook, they got me blocked, all because I made a comment about some shit that really looked the way it was. It looked like some old Sambo ass type shit, where you had these NBA players, two black, everybody else on their knees with their head down, and this white dude standing with his hand on his heart, and you had a Negro on each side with their arm locked around his knee while he's standing up like their Lord and Savior. Yeah, that looked like some old jigaboo type ass shit. And I'm going to just say the truth, and Facebook blocked me for that. YouTube is suppressing my videos to the point they're taking my subscribers. They won't let you see when I do a video. They won't let you be notified. Most people telling me now it's a day later that they find out that I even did a live video. That's why I started trying to do my videos at 6 o'clock, to be consistent so that people will know that follow the channel at 6 o'clock, this crazy Negro going to be on there speaking truth. So you got an option. You can keep believing that bull stuff that they showing you on TV, or you can look at people such as like myself or Alfonso Scott, who's gonna. We don't have the answers for everything. I'm not always right, but I know 90% of the time that I speak, I'm right because I've done research based on history, reality, and personal experience. I do the research when I do these videos, man. And when I tell you that what we're witnessing right now is a corporate media who really don't give a damn about you. Because again, the corporate media is acting like they just now finding out that Negroes have been getting killed by the police. The corporate media is acting like they just now finding out that black people are being discriminated against. If y'all just now finding that shit out, what good are y'all when y'all been help perpetuating this shit with the negative stereotypes that you as a media put out about black people? Go back and look at some of the goddamn cartoons like Bugs Bunny and some of these old cartoons, and you cannot tell me that the media didn't know that black people were being stereotyped, were being persecuted, and were being oppressed. Just looking at the cartoons throughout history. You see what I'm saying? When they had the pickaninny black folks in all these Bugs Bunny cartoons. Shit, man, when I watch them cartoons now, I don't even watch them now because I see just how racist they were. So now all of a sudden, the American media is acting like they don't know. They just now find, wow, we're shocked to realize that George Floyd was killed like it was. Bitch, y'all been knowing this. It ain't like y'all just now finding this shit out. But now that y'all can use this shit to generate ratings because nobody is watching you all on television no more. And that's really what it is. Nobody's really watching the mainstream media. Most people getting their news from independent news sources now because they know that the mainstream media lies to you. Something else. Now, this is an international issue. Hey, y'all pay attention to what just happened earlier this week. The United States illegally confiscated 5 Iranian ships. Man, that shit is piracy. The United States is not at war with Iran or Venezuela, but you had some Iranian ships who were taking some refinery products down to Venezuela because the United States illegally got sanctions on Iran and Venezuela. Now, Venezuela, believe it or not, got more oil than any other country on the face of the planet. The United States want that oil. So they created sanctions on Venezuela. Show you how fucking cold-blooded these motherfucking pilgrims is here in America. They went so far as to say that the president of Venezuela put a $10 million bounty on his head saying that he's a drug dealer. This is how fucking crooked your government is in an attempt to steal another country's oil. So just this week, the United States illegally seized 5 ships that was headed to Venezuela from Iran, saying that the cargo on these ships is illegal. How the fuck can you tell them people what they can and cannot ship, man? And then you go and take their shit. That's piracy, y'all. That's what the anti-piracy laws are about. So what you're about to see is the Iranians and the Venezuelans respond. Now, the Iranians ain't bullshitting with the Americans. You see what I'm saying? Remember when Donald Trump sent them bombs over there to Iran, and Iran sent them bombs right back to the American base. And they tried to lie and cover it up in America, saying, "Well, did nobody get hurt?" Come and find out that damn 100-some people got brain damage when that bomb struck that American military base. Man, I could go on rambling on and on. I'm gonna get up here, man, a little bit because I got something that I got to try to do. I talked with my son's mother, and again, the program is that she's gonna bring him down here, so I don't have to leave to go up there and get him. But now there's the thing of bus tickets and shit like that, so it's crazy, man. But hey, I thank y'all for watching this brief video. We're gonna come back a little bit later on when I get myself up and ready and kill a couple of these goddamn flies that's running around here. I don't know where they fucking coming from. Wow. But anyway, I just did this video on the spur of the moment, man, just to stay relevant, and hopefully we can get enough views to eventually get our channel monetized. But until then, hey, y'all keep hitting the like button, man. Most important, share these videos, man. We need to get up to at least, I really want to have 10,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of this year. It can be done, y'all. You know, if you all see, YouTube won't let me do it organically because they gonna hide my videos. They're gonna keep taking my subscribers. Mysteriously, my subscribers gonna keep disappearing. You know what I'm saying? And they just gonna bury my channel. And right now, all I have is you all, man. You all who faithfully follow what we do, who faithfully look for the truth. All I have is you all. So I need you all to help us, man, spread the word about this channel. Hit the like button, man, because as long as you hitting that like button, they got to allow my channel to stay in existence, because they really want to shut my shit down. I got somebody, there's one person on here, I remember they told me a while ago, I'm going to do everything I can to get your channel shut down. And it's that, I believe it's that one person that's always hitting the thumb down. You mean to tell me on every video I got, damn near 3/4 of the people that watch the video hit the like button, and there's one motherfucker that's always hitting down? You know who you are, and guess what? I have 2 words for you. Fuck you. Try. You can go ahead and get my channel, try to get my channel shut down, but you can't stop something that I believe is divinely ordained. So yeah, even your one thumb down is actually helping me out, because it helps me with the analytics of my show, of my channel, and it helps my channel survive. So again, hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe. Please share these videos. And one more thing, if you really like what we're doing, please, like right now, we definitely need a financial miracle to happen between now and Wednesday. If you can, the cash tag to our Cash App is going to always be in the title. The $ therealnews3. Man, if y'all can make just a $10 donation, all it takes is 20 people, man, to hit that Cash App and the $20. My son will be home next Wednesday, next Tuesday, next Thursday. This channel will not have to wonder if we're gonna be able to pay the phone bill, the Wi-Fi. Plus, I really want to get a laptop, which will help me when I do a lot of these stories, because I can actually do the video on the laptop. I can use the phone to read the stories off. It'll be a whole better show. So if y'all can, man, please hit the Cash Tab, man, and make a donation. But other than that, man, most importantly, just share these videos, man. Help us to get, right now, let's make a goal of 2,000 subscribers before Labor Day. We already at 1,000, well, it was 1,100, but I see that 10 people mysteriously unsubscribed to my channel. Now, they didn't unsubscribe. YouTube are taking our subscribers away. YouTube got an algorithm where they know if you ain't watched one of our videos in maybe 10, 15, maybe 30 days, they can take you off as a subscriber. It's called shadow banning. That's what they're actually doing. So if y'all really support this channel, man, please hit the thumbs up, share the videos, man, and help us to try to get that 2,000. But most importantly, if you really like what we're doing, we could only do this show, man, with y'all help. A lot of people that's doing these shows, they got 10, 15,000 or 100,000 subscribers. Shit, they can do a show, man, and make $1,000 a day just off one video. Shit, it costs me, man, $5 every time I do a video. You know, really, when it comes to the data on my Wi-Fi, or if I have to do the data on my phone, it costs me to do these shows. And right now, you know, in the situation I am, I don't have it. So please hit the Cash App. So until y'all see me on another video, man, hopefully most likely gonna be this evening. Hey, this your boy Rob Thomas Jr. said, please think for yourself. Always ask questions. Do not trust what the media or somebody who every last one of their talking points. You can tell Republicans and you can tell Democrats, because Democrat, they always gonna say the shit that they hear on CNN, MSNBC, or something like that. You can tell Republicans, because they always gonna say the shit that Fox tells them. But hey, I'm neither Democrat, Republican, Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I'm just an ordinary Negro who always trying to bring you the real news behind the news. And my main theme is always ask questions. Hey, y'all, hit the cash out, please. Thumbs up, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share. Till y'all see me on another video, y'all be blessed.